Okay, so last week I talked about why you're overthinking your transition, and a bunch of you commented saying some version of, cool, I get it, but I still don't know when I'm actually ready to make a move. So let's talk about that. Because the question, am I ready, is the wrong question. And I'm going to show you the question that actually works, plus a test you can do right now, like pausing the video and do it right now, that will tell you if you're dealing with a fear problem or a math problem. Okay, let's go. Quick thing about me, if you're new here, I spent years building a recruiting business, a partnership, 6 countries, 40 people, the whole thing. And when I finally decided to transition out, I had the same panic you probably have. What if I can't replace my income? What if this whole thing falls apart? What if I'm making a huge mistake? But here's what I figured out later. I wasn't afraid of failure. I was afraid of instability. It's real, man. And those are two totally different problems. Failure, you can recover from. Instability, when you don't know if you can pay your rent next month, that's what keeps you frozen. The trouble I'm trying to save you here is the same trouble that I experienced. Now, I jumped in cold, but I know that the problems are the same. I was asking myself the question, am I brave enough, all the time, because I had no runway, no plan, nothing. I mean, I just was afraid of destroying my life, which probably I already had, right? Here's the test. Most women I work with think they have a confidence problem. Like, I need to believe in myself more. But actually, you have one of two problems. One, either you have a capacity problem, or two, it's a strategy problem. And if you misdiagnose which one you have, you stay stuck forever. Let me explain, okay? A capacity problem means you're running on an empty. You're burnt out, nervous system is fried, your life has zero margin. You're not overthinking because you're scared of the next step. You're overthinking because you don't have the energy to take it. If that's you, you don't need a giant business plan. You need rest, you need boundaries, you need space to recover. A strategy problem is different though, because you have the energy, you're capable, you're just stuck because you don't have a map. You don't know the sequence. You don't know what to do first. If that's you, you need more self-care. You need a plan. See, a burned out woman tries to hustle her way out of exhaustion. That will backfire. If a capable woman with energy tries to heal her way out of a strategy trap, that just causes delays. So pause right now and ask yourself, which one am I dealing with? Is it a capacity or a strategy problem? Say it out loud, because naming it clears that fog. So if you're realizing you need the strategy part, the actual plan, I built a free community for exactly this reason. It's called Unapologetically Next. Inside, it's a mouthful. Inside, you'll get the worksheet version of this test, plus frameworks for every part of the transition process. So I have practical tools I'm going to be giving the women in my community. And if you're high achieving, that's what you want. You want to move without gambling everything. I'm going to drop the link in the description. So here's the shift. Stop asking, am I ready? And start asking, do I have runway? What's my next safe step? Because readiness is a feeling, as I said yesterday, and runway is a fact. Readiness depends on how much sleep you got, whether you had a good day, whether someone believed in you this week. But runway is how much money do I actually have? What's the bare minimum you need every month to keep your life stable? And what's the smallest bridge that gets you from here to there? Let me make this a little concrete. Your runway is not your dream salary. It's not what you used to make. It's not what you think you deserve. It's the floor, the absolute minimum monthly number that keeps the lights on, food on the table, and rent paid. That's it. If you don't know that number, you're not overthinking. You're just flying blind. So do this. Grab a piece of paper, write down your essentials, rent, groceries, insurance, debt payments, whatever you absolutely cannot skip. Now, ask the most important question in this whole video. What's the smallest bridge that protects my flow while I transition? You don't need a perfect solution. You just need the bridge. That's it. Maybe it's freelance work. Maybe it's consulting. Maybe it's a part-time gig. Maybe it's severance. Maybe it's staying in your job for the next 6 months while you build something on the side. You don't have to have a perfect goal, because When you know your floor and you know you have a bridge, your nervous system relaxes. You stop catastrophizing. You start moving. Here's what that looks like in real life. I worked with a woman who was in a medical role. She was leading this transformation of a birthing unit at a hospital. From the outside, it looked impressive, right? But from the inside, the environment was very toxic and she was completely burned out. Now, before she took that job, she had her own business as a private doula. She loved it. She was good at it. And when the hospital offer came, she left the business because the job felt right. It was a smart move. Plus, she wanted to build her capacity. She wanted to revive her business. She knew exactly what she wanted to do, but she kept saying, I'm just not ready yet. When we dug in, it wasn't a readiness problem. It was a capacity problem diagnosed as a strategy problem. She was so burnt out from the toxic environment that she couldn't think straight. But she also had Runway. She had some savings to cover her for a while. And here's what she did not see. She couldn't have started reopening her doula practice while still working the full-time job. Not full throttle. Nope. Just open the door again, one client, test the waters, rebuild that part of herself. But burnout had convinced her it was all or nothing. Stay and suffer or quit and risk everything. Once we named the real problem, capacity, not readiness, the pressure lifted, of course. She didn't need a perfect exit plan. She needed permission to move slowly, to take one small step without torching her whole life. See, that's the difference. Readiness is emotional. Runway is measurable. And sometimes the bridge is just giving yourself permission to start before you leave. All right, so here's what I want you to do. Drop a comment below and tell me what you're dealing with. Is it capacity or is it strategy? And if you did the math, what's your floor number? You don't need to share the details, the actual amount. Just tell me if you even know it. Because a lot of you are overthinking without a dashboard. And that's why it feels so scary. So in the next video, I'm going to break down a 10-minute loop breaker that I use with my clients right now, so that I can get them out of paralysis analysis and into action. You'll learn how to separate your real fear from noise, and you'll be able to identify your next step, maybe for the next 72 hours. What's my next move? So you can stop spinning. So subscribe so you don't miss it, and I'll see you in the next video.